or from your worksheet the rate formula. Go ahead.
A equals R.
No, go ahead.
1 plus I to the power n.
Yeah.
Minus 1 over
Yeah.
I.
Very good. Now, just as a recap, if you weren't here yesterday, or even if you were, R stands for regular savings, so that's how much you save on a regular basis, or deposit. A is going to be your amount, just like the other equation, the ending amount. I is going to be interest, just like the other equation, and N is going to be time, just like the other equation. A, I, and N do not change. R, instead of being the starting amount, though, is going to be the regular amount. Yes?
How do you call one piece of rain formula?
I'm going to tell you right after this example, because we're going to get a third equation, and I'll talk about all three of them, because that's the only difficult part about this unit, right? Once you get one equation, sub it in, and you're good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to write rain on the board. I'm going to start with Logan. If you give me one of those 4 pieces of information, please. Go ahead.
R is 100.
R is 100, because every week it's going to be 100. Very good. All right, Amanda, even though you haven't been here for 2 days, can you give me another piece of information, please?
Interest is 0.05. You have to like simplify it. But
Yes. What are we dividing by? No. 52 is weekly now. 0.001. All right, Tiana, can you give me another piece of information, please?
A is
100,000. That's a lot of money. Okay, so Matt's looking to save up a lot of money. Now, we'll talk about this tomorrow, because one of the things we're going to deal with tomorrow is how to be a millionaire. That's one of the topics that I'm planning to talk through for tomorrow. So I apologize to the football team. Everyone else will be rich except for the football players. You guys will want to do this, that's okay. But for this here, though, we'll find out that Matt can fairly easily, can I talk here, please? Matt can fairly easily end up with 600,000. We'll show you how right now. Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so if you remember, I don't know if you were here on, can I please talk? I don't know if we were here on the pain day, but remember for I and N, the way you do with I, it's going to be divided by the number of times you compound. So since it's compounded weekly, you're going to divide this by 52. If it was compounded monthly, we divide it by 12. If it was compounded daily, 365. Whatever the compounding period, you're going to divide your I. In the same way, if I gave you a question, we'll do that today, where do you compound monthly or weekly, you're going to times your N, whatever that is. So you're always dividing your I, so that you get a percent every month, week, day. You're going to multiply your N to get to change the units from that. All right, we're going backwards today. Jesse, can you sub the things into the equation, please? Go ahead.
So 600,000
Yeah.
equals 100 bracket 1.001.
Yeah.
Then for the n,
Yeah.
x times 52.
Just leave, yeah, then I'll just leave it as N for right now. We'll deal with the times 52 after. Okay.
That's 1
Yeah.
over 0.201.
Yeah, you're making things complicated. I'll just leave that for right now. Okay, we'll deal with that in a second. All right, now here's the thing that's tricky. Okay, we have 600,000 equals 100,000 bracket 1.001 to the n minus 1 divided by 0.001. This is where I tell my joke, and it's not funny, I'm going to say it anyway, that your math teacher is like an ogre. He has many layers. There's one. Good. That's one joke. Okay, the point is when you're dealing with an algebra here, you want to get the thing the furthest away from n. What's the thing that's the furthest away from n right now? 0.001. How do you get rid of it divided by 0.001? Go ahead.
Multiply by 600,000.
Yeah, can you do, I'm just going to write in red what I'm doing here so you can see it. You can, Logan, can you do 600,000 divided by, or times 0.001? 600, perfect. Okay, good. All right, Riley, I skipped you for some reason. What's the next thing I should do to simplify for n, please? What's the next thing? Divide by 100. Okay, so you get 6 equals 1.001 to the n minus 1. Now, if I had a coffee, which I don't, I would pick it up and I take a little drink now and take a break to make sure everyone gets caught up. It's an imaginary coffee today. Notice my fingers, I can check coffee. There it is right there. This is the part that's important here now. I have to solve for n, and Andrew, you always get the tricky questions. What should I do right now? Not yet, because there's so much stuff. Somebody wanna help them? You wanna try it? Go ahead.
Bring the one over.
Yeah, how do you get rid of a negative one?
Plus one.
Yeah, plus one, okay. So we're gonna add one, and that's what you're gonna say two, Taylor, right? Add one. So add one. So this is just gonna turn into 7 equals 1.001 to the n. All right, now we can log. Now, so what Andrew was saying, we couldn't log before. We have way too much stuff going on. Remember, we can only log when we have one thing on the left, one thing on the right. Yes.
Aren't we multiplying n by 52?
At the end, we'll leave that. Right now, when you solve for n, it's going to be in weeks. This equation will give it to you. Okay, so if you do 52n, that will give it in years. Okay, and that's what you guys were talking about with 52n and all that stuff. That will give you the answer in years. If whenever we solve for n, that's just going to be weeks, and we're happy with that. Either leave it as weeks or change years either way. All right, Kellen, can you please tell me what to do next?
Log 1.001.
Yeah. And log both sides. I do log or ln in this board. Log it. Okay. So log of 7 equals log of 1.001 times n. Excellent. Tremendous. Wonderful, even. Madison, even though you volunteered an answer, I'm picking on you again. Next step here to get n by itself.
Log that divided by log
Good. Okay, now let's tell Mac the bad news for how long this is going to be. Albert, can you? Oh, yes, sorry.
If you skip the last step, you just did.
Yes. If you want to go right from here to here, that's fine. One step up, I'm okay with that. All right, Albert, you tell Mac the bad news. How many weeks this is going to be until he's 600,000 there?
1,946.8.
Is that right? A little slower. 1,900.
1,946.8.
Okay, that's weeks, right? Because we divide that by 52, that's like what?
37.2.
No, is it?
Yep.
Divide that by what?
52? You sure?
When do you multiply?
Yeah. How do you want to multiply it?
Well, we'll talk about the multiply on the next example here for that, okay? The thing is the units, the point is when you do what? The units here, guys, please. The units, hello? The units for this are going to be whatever the unit should be for this. So this should be weeks, so that's like a weekly, so that's just going to be in weeks. We'll talk about the multiplying on the next example here, which is going to be PV, okay? Was this like 5 and 6, or was 1 or 5 or 6 even worse than this?
No.
This should have been like 5 and 6. That should have been like 5 and 6. Yeah.
So you're multiplying it by, or sorry, dividing it by
To get to years, dividing by 52 would get it to years.
I thought it was multiply and divide.
It is, because and this is what these two are saying, is it like a 52 thing? N, if n is given in years, like to make it, if you give the question in years, timesing it by 52 will change to weeks. Since this is just given to you in weeks, dividing by 52 will bring it back to years, right? So just leave it as weeks, is fine. Weeks. Hopefully this is somewhat good. I'm going to give you the third equation, or the fourth and final equation for this unit right now, and then we're going to get started. Actually, let's stop the video. Basketball.